to the latest and greatest episode of Game Rivals. I'm one of your hosts, Maximilian X, and as always with me is the lovable, the huggable, the champ of champs, the Nathan to my Sully, got it right this time, Sean Templar. How's it going, Sean?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a bit tired. It's been a long couple of weeks, but I'm good. I'm excited to be here as always to talk, video games and the gaming industry and everything else related to video games that could possibly come our way in terms of news. Of course, we are just two men. We cannot cover everything, but we do try and pick out the most interesting news to cover. So let's just jump right into things, if that's okay with you.
Definitely. Let's go.
Yeah, because there's a lot to talk about. And honestly, there's a lot to talk about, and there's a lot of things to kind of really be, in my case, really be upset about. Because it is, I feel like, okay, this might sound really pretentious for me to say it this way, but I feel like there are certain game development studios or game development companies, to be more exact, that are really, really not getting what gaming is about anymore, and they're just in it for making the money. And I get it. You're a company, you have to make money, and that's absolutely fine. But if EA and Ubisoft, in a span of days, both announced that they're working on NFT and connecting the blockchain to video games, I can't be behind that kind of stuff, man. I can't be behind that kind of decisions.
I uh I mean, it feels like EA is going back to the time where everybody hated them, like in the PS2 era, when they couldn't do anything right. And it seemed like after that they were on this rise of redemption. Even though that I think in both periods John Ricciatello was the CEO, so everybody first hated him and then loved him, and then now with Andrew Wilson. The funny thing is Andrew Wilson was a producer on FIFA, so that might shed some light on why he is taking this company in this money hungry direction because FIFA always brings in
Ugh,
a lot of money.
yeah.
Um, I mean the
Let's see how
annoying,
long that lasts.
yeah, I mean like the annoying part with these things is that they are like you basically have Activision, Ubisoft, and EA, which are probably the three biggest publishers in the West. I mean, yeah, Take Two, but they just keep on sucking people's money away with GTA, so I don't even count them. But like,
We do have some stuff to talk about GTA, like a rumor, but sure, go
okay,
on.
yeah. So like, I mean, they know how to. They found this magic formula on how to squeeze out money out of everybody. I mean, they announced that they had a what was it like 1.2 billion in earnings just from microtransactions.
Yeah,
Uh,
from FIFA and from Apex
yeah,
Legends.
from FIFA and Apex Legends, and I'm like, that's a lot of money from microtransactions and skins and whatnot. And the problem is we the consumer are giving our money to them, so they're like, well, if they give us money, then we're doing something good, so we should do more of this. And then Ubisoft does the same. I mean, they have, I've said this in the last episode, they have live services and people put a lot of money in them. And the most annoying part is Ubisoft has some beloved franchises like Assassin's Creed, The Division, Prince of Persia, Splinter Cell. They have a lot of great franchises, and people kind of cut them some slack because they have these great franchises, and generally these games are really good when they get done and properly. And so in the last few years, get a lot of updates. um but yeah, I mean like this will not go away. This will only get worse.
Yep.
And I mean, we have to look to indie developers to maybe make the difference, or maybe to developers from Asia or from the East, because that's those companies are less focused on what is it me? Is your camera frozen?
No, I'm moving just fine, so I don't know.
No.
And I see my internet connection is unstable. Yeah, fraud. Hang on.
Because
Yeah.
your face is frozen for me.
Okay, let me just put it in here. Uh,
Can you turn the camera on and off again?
yeah, let me just do that real quickly. I made a
Oh, it
note of
seems
it
to
so I can
be,
fix.
yeah, it's
Is
it's
it
better
back?
now. Yeah, it's
Okay,
better
it's
now.
better.
The
Yeah,
quality isn't that good, but
my internet kind of dipped, so it might not. I might not look so great to you right now, but I'm hoping it'll stable out and it'll be better. But I've made a note of it so we can edit it.
okay. Well, so like, I mean, it's gonna stick around. It's gonna keep sticking around, and I'm like, I'm lucky, and I think you as well, because you play PlayStation games as well. So we're kind of lucky that Sony makes great games and they don't do live services. I do think they
Could you imagine?
well, but like the funny thing is they want to. They are looking into it, but I don't think that they would do it in the let me give this an example. Sony had a game on the PS3. It was called Warhawk, which was basically their own version of Battlefield. It had a really cool
Hmm,
story, really cool setting. It was going to be single player, and it turned out to be multiplayer only. But I love that game, and they added content after launch in for years, and they did free updates in which they added stuff, mechanics, balancing. They even added guns and stuff like that. And they had what they called booster packs. And then a booster pack would include one or two maps and some new vehicles and some extra stuff specifically for those maps, or those mechanics would translate over to the other maps with different game modes. Like that was a perfect live service because you could play the base game, and if you wanted, you could supplement your experience with these booster packs. There were no microtransactions as far as I can remember. Maybe that those were too soon those days. I mean, like if they do a model like that, it's completely fine because they're giving you the option. But like if they're gonna go the Assassin's Creed Infinity route, in which they're gonna offer you these tailor-made experiences and you can buy them separately, I mean, like nobody's waiting for that because that means your $70 Ubisoft game, your $70 Assassin's Creed game, suddenly becomes a $200 Assassin's Creed game because you, of course, want to play all those storylines.
yeah,
So I'm like, I'm afraid that we just have to go on to find our what do you say that? It's a really bad analogy, but like when an addict needs another hit, you just have to find
your fix.
your fix somewhere else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a shame, but
Great. No, that's the perfect way to that's the perfect analogy to use. The one that makes gamers look like gosh darn addicts.
we are in a way. We are. We're hooked on that amazing single player high or multiplayer high in some cases.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like the between like the live service stuff, which is bad in its own way. Honestly, like it can be good. Like you said, it can be good if it's done right and it's done responsibly. But so many so many of the big publishers are doing it in the way that is just obviously money grubbing. And I know that they have to do it because shareholders and blah 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 yada yada. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I'm kind of like publicly traded video game companies are kind of hurting the game industry.
Yeah.
I mean, there are certain exceptions where they do try and prioritize the craft over that, but yeah, I mean, dang it, there was there was this company that recently got delisted, like on purpose because they didn't want to. They went they went private again. Essentially, they were a publicly traded company. They went private. Um, dang, I forgot what company that is. Nothing with gaming related, but it was basically this company that was they were bought by like this big investor, like bought majority shares, and then he took it private again. And that's like everybody in the company is like super happy because now they don't have to worry about answering to like a shareholder to a bunch of shareholders. They just have to answer to essentially the owner now of the company.
That's nice. Sounds like
Yeah,
something Elon Musk wanted to do but didn't even wasn't able to do.
I seriously thought that that's something that he actually wanted to do
The way
more than
it
pretend that
was
he
like
wanted
the
to.
debacle, right? The last year, I think, that he
Yeah,
had secured
was
funding
no,
from
was it last
from
year? I think it was like 2019, right?
was it? I don't, it feels like last year that he said like I've secured funding from the Middle East to take Tesla private, and then it turned out to be a hoax or something.
Well,
And then the
mm,
SEC fined him and said, "You're not allowed to tweet about Tesla shares and stuff
Tesla.
like that, and you're also banned from being on the board of being the chairman of a board of directors for a couple of years."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was funny. That dude is weird. But
yeah,
his company makes good stuff, so kind of can't hate on that.
yeah,
Well, sorry, companies, plural.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, at least he's doing something right, unlike these guys.
Yeah, but that's because
And
he's like a visionary and he has like this specific vision that he's chasing. And he's like, I want everything. I'm putting all my resources into achieving this vision, which is, for example, putting man on Mars. But like Andrew Wilson's vision is, how can I squeeze more money out of these people? Bobby Kotick is like, well, I have this vision in which I'll just give up, take a pay cut, but I won't tell them that I get bonuses, which are in the
oh
hundreds
no,
of millions
no, he's also not receiving bonuses anymore. But it's kind of pointless since he already received like a flip ton of bonuses in the past,
for
and his
years.
recent bonus was like a lot. Like what was it, 150 million or something?
I don't know, but it's like a lot of money.
Yeah. So who cares that he's taking a pay cut, right? Like at least when like when Nintendo was not doing so hot, and Iwata was like the executive team and himself included is taking a pay cut, like 50% less pay, and they're not firing a single person. See, that is a responsible thing to do.
Yeah,
Taking actual responsibility, not oh yeah, I'm taking a pay cut because we need to get back to standards. At the same time, hiring a law firm that is well known to be a union buster and not allow your people to unionize and not giving and not protecting your employees, and people leaving in droves because surprise surprise, more people are leaving. And this is and the weirdest thing is it's someone that was recently put into like managing like the top of Blizzard, when J. Allen Brack left. um Gosh darn it, I have the name here quickly. uh Jen O'Neill.
mm.
Yeah, so Jen O'Neill and where's the other guy? Mike Ibarra took over when Bracht was unceremoniously left from the company. Let's just put it that way. The real way
Un-
to say it is he got his ass kicked out of the store because he was managing very badly, very badly.
ungraciously.
Yeah. So they were put in charge, and they've only been in charge for like 3 months, and apparently they were doing good work in terms of like trying to steer the company and the team back into the right direction when it comes to like taking care of the people there, specifically Jen herself. And now Jen, just during the last shareholders meeting that happened this past couple of weeks, she's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving." Like nobody was aware that it was happening. It was a not like everybody that worked at the company found out after the shareholders meeting took place, and it was announced there.
Oh, damn.
So the shares plummeted like 10 points, which is not good because it their shares have not been great since the allegations and the lawsuits came into play. And now people's morals have dipped again because she's leaving.
Maybe
Because
we
she's
should
leaving at the end of the year.
maybe we should buy some Activision Blizzard stock in this case because it's on a low.
I don't know, man. I think it's
I
gonna
feel
keep
like
going down.
a corporate raider.
I don't know, man. I think if you really want to buy it before it gets completely tanked, you have to wait a little bit longer. But I'm not a stockbroker. This is not stock brokerage advice
No,
right now. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that with Activision Blizzard. It is a whole mess, and especially since Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 also got delayed during that same shareholder meeting. Things are not looking hot for that company, and Vanguard just came out. Like, I haven't checked the reviews for it yet.
GameSpot gave it a 7. and IGN gave it. I don't know because IGN did like a separate single player review and a
Mm.
multiplayer review, so I haven't checked it.
Oh, cheaters.
But yeah, because I was like, I played the beta and it felt a lot like Modern Warfare because they built it on the Modern Warfare engine, but still, it's like it misses that spark, And
Did you play the new Warzone, by the way?
no, I haven't played Warzone in months.
Yeah.
I was there's an update coming in December, which is called Warzone Pacific, and it adds a new Pacific map inspired by Vanguard, and I believe they also add a lot of Vanguard weapons. But I'm like, I'm done with Warzone. I am counting down the days until Battlefield 2042 comes out. I'm even tempted to buy because that's a nasty move. But they have like multiple. I think I spoke about this last time. They have multiple editions.
I think
So
we speak about it every time EA releases a game.
yeah, so like it's one version is $80 because that's the normal MSRP, and
Hmm.
then you get the normal version. There's an
Yeah,
edition for $100, which gets you a week earlier access, which is in 4 days, and it
yeah.
includes a season pass. And then there's another bundle which is $120, and they add all sorts of skins and whatever. I don't care. I am tempted to buy the $100 version because I just want to play it a week early. I mean,
Don't do it, man.
I'm
Don't do it.
really resisting, but I
Can't you
can't.
get EA access to like get the week early access anyways?
So I have Game Pass on PC, and then it gives you a 10-hour trial. So I'm aiming to play it on PC for 10 hours, and then hopefully that will get me my fix until it comes out next week.
I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Nah, man, nah. Because because here's the thing: if you do that and you play it and it ends up not hold living up to your expectations, man,
yeah. I
you're gonna
mean,
be sad.
the one of the reasons why I don't want to buy it this week for the $100 is because I'm afraid that it's going to be buggy as hell, even though there is going to be a day one patch. And then they'll probably release a fix next week, which will put the game in a better state. So I'm like, do I really want to be an early adopter in this case? I'm like, I can wait. I have loads to play, and you know, uh, I'm trying to resist. I don't know. Check in with me at the end of the week. I don't know how it will be then.
You know what they say: patience is a virtue.
I know one I'm
Yeah.
not good at.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, people are gonna be a little bit more. You're gonna have to be a little bit more patient though,
Yeah.
because if you were hoping to get a graphics card, if you live in the U.S., specifically the West Coast, and you were hoping to get like a 3060 or a 3070 or a 3080 or a 3090, well, you're out of luck because a bunch of people pulled off a truck heist.
I heard.
Of all things, they pulled off a truck heist specifically on a truck that was loaded to the brim, apparently, with all sorts of NVIDIA graphics cards running from possibly the 3060s to the 3090s. And yeah, they made off with it.
Yeah.
Like, people were actually legit surprised, including yours truly. I was like, wait, that's people do that? Like,
How did
people
they even
like
figure out there was a truckload of RTX GPUs?
I
It must
have
have been an
I
insider.
okay, so it had yeah, right. So it has to have been an insider, right? Because that's the only way that it would work. Um, it could also just be like a. I think it was a criminal ring.
Okay.
Like, it has to have been a criminal ring that has been paying attention to like um uh, 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 what do you call those again? Shipments, and just have been paying attention to like which shipments go when and where. And they've just made like they just plotted it out, and they've probably seen a pattern of it,
So
and
like
they're like, okay,
a Sherlock Holmes deduction.
kind of, sorta, more like Ocean's 13,
Oh, okay.
but then like a truck heist. Um, so yeah, they boosted the truck, and like there's a lot of hardware in there. But Nvidia has already notified the authorities, and all the serial numbers that were on that truck have been marked. So be careful when you buy something off a scalper, because it could be illegal hardware, and it will probably not work if you use it.
Would it?
So yeah, because they can essentially like mark that serial number as stolen hardware. And when you try to, because you have to register like the hardware, right? When you want to get the updates
Mm-hmm.
with the serial number, and if it reads the serial number, it's like, oh, this one was flagged as stolen. It'll stop working.
Oh wow,
So
I didn't
even
know
if you're
they could do
buying it,
that.
even if you're buying it to mine the blockchain, ugh,
Is
yeah,
that is that what it
you
is
don't won't
called?
get very far. I don't know, and I don't care. It is dumb and it's annoying, and it's ruining the planet because it costs
Maximilian, the
way
crypto
too much energy.
miner.
I am not the crypto miner. Don't ever call me the crypto miner.
Is it like
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not this bad person that is trying to ruin the environment by making myself richer. Yeah, because those things like burn out graphics card in like what, a year and a half, and then it just becomes e-waste. Also, they waste a lot of energy just to mine crypto.
oh man, yeah.
Yeah, so nuts to that. Um, but yeah, maybe I don't know. Start using convoys when you're shipping out graphics cards. I don't know what will like,
Let's
because
do
if they did
GTA
it
style and
before,
just roll up a tank while we're at it.
honestly, at this point, why not?
Yeah.
Because it's weird, right? That this happened, which means
I'm not
that
sure.
this
I
can
think it,
happen again.
but these things have happened in the past. I'm not sure if it also happened with a console shipment. Was it with PS5s? I think. Or did this happen recently with?
I think so.
Yeah, this happened with PS5s because the funny thing is, and it might actually happen again soon because Sony has been airlifting PS5s into the UK, but like they're using these 747s which carry 50 pallets, I think, of
Mm.
PS5s, and they have like three planes flying in, and I don't know if they're doing it for other countries as well, but they're doing it to kind of to create a supply for the holidays.
Well,
I
they
mean,
have to, because there are not enough like truck drivers in the UK.
yeah, so I think this is the reason why they're doing specifically for the UK, and the rest of the world just has to wait till a boat shows up in a port and then divide the shipment over the rest of
Oh,
Europe.
they show up at the port. They just can't enter the port because there's not enough people at the ports working.
I mean, like, how does this happen? Is the UK's infrastructure so
No, no, no.
dependent on
This
foreign
is
people?
well, that too, obviously. So Brexit, great. But we're not a political channel. Um,
Yeah, we don't want to go
However,
into that.
this is not just a UK thing. Like the supply shipment stuff is like a global issue.
Oh,
There
I
are
didn't know.
literally a bunch of ships waiting outside of ports for their turn to unload their stuff.
Oh, I didn't
And
even know
there's
that.
not enough people in at ports because of like people that are not vaccinated, or they don't have enough people because they're sick because of the Rona, and so on and so forth. So like shipping is really bad.
Hmm.
On top of the whole chip shortage thing that is gonna last apparently at least until 2023 at the earliest. Man, like in general, like if you want to get something and it has to come by boat, you're gonna have to be patient. Like a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And that is not something that a lot of people have these days. So yeah. Other than that, right? There was the GTA thing that I wanted to talk about. The GTA 6 thing that I wanted to talk about. There was this one rumor.
Don't tell me it's a rumor that development has been rocky and they've rebooted it multiple times because I don't believe that shit.
Oh, so you have read it?
No, I saw it on Instagram. Somebody shared like an image of it yesterday, and I'm like, nah, that's bullshit, man. Because GTA went into pre-production last year, and I cannot like people are acting like GTA 6 has been in development for years, but it's not. The game just went into pre-production last year, so they're like they don't have anything, you know. And this is something
Mm.
Rockstar said themselves, that the game went into pre-production last year because Rockstar had the whole debacle with crunch and also a little bit of a toxic workspace and stuff like that. So they
Oh
were
yeah, definitely.
yeah, so they were first working on that to kind of fix that, and they have implemented things to make it a better workplace. Because I read an interview about it, and then in that same interview, they mentioned, which is an interview of last year, I think it was by on Kotaku, the same interview they talked about that they just had entered pre-production on GTA 6. So like that's
Yeah.
why when people say stuff like or said stuff like GTA 6 is gonna be a launch title for PS5, I was like, hell no,
Oh
that shit
oh
ain't
that
coming
never
out.
made sense. No, that
Yeah,
never made
yeah,
sense.
because
But
it at
the reason
least
why they've
would be
yeah.
2025.
Oh, absolutely.
At
Because like
least, yeah.
because the joke is here is that apparently they were working on it before, like pre-production levels and stuff. But remember because someone left Rockstar.
Yeah, it
Like I
was
think when was this? Like last year?
no, no, it was a while back. Because they
Like two
like
years ago?
so they had a lawsuit with somebody. I forgot his name. The guy went. The guy was a pretty important character or a key figure in Rockstar because he
Exactly.
basically they owed like a lot to him because he fixed a lot of stuff and got GTA 5 to a point where it was actually this good. And then he went on a sabbatical. And then when he came back from sabbatical, he suddenly was fired without him knowing by the Hauser brothers. And so what he did is he sued the company for wrongful termination and for royalties not paid. And then they settled out of court and he got millions. And then he started a new studio and he's working on an open world game. So imagine like that um revenge is a dish best served cold, I believe they say. So
That's
imagine
the one.
him like making an open world game, and he's like a big mastermindy figure behind GTA. So like, if there's ever going to be a GTA killer, this guy is the one that might be able to pull it off. And I think
Yeah,
one of the Hauser brothers, or both, also left Rockstar. I think one of them left Rockstar recently.
yeah. But apparently that departure is what kind of drove everything into turmoil, and that's what forced the reboot of the whole GTA 6 franchise project. So I mean, I'm inclined to believe it because I think Jason Schreier like even commented because someone tweeted it on like tweeted it out that whole rumor thing like in a thread. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he commented on it that there's more truth to this rumor than we could possibly imagine, and like don't expect like GTA 6 to come out until at least 2025
Yeah.
because they are nowhere near like going into actual full production
Nope.
until maybe next year, if at all.
I don't
So
know.
that's why they've been leaning ahead. Like it's not just because they've been making a cajillion dollars off of GTA Online. And honestly,
And they still do.
I honestly think that because if you really think about it, if that's the reason why we still haven't heard anything about a GTA 6, like not even like a whisper from like Rockstar, that might also be the reason why Red Dead Redemption Online basically just kind of died. Because it could be because of all the turmoil that's going on there that they are like unable to like focus on anything.
Yeah, I mean, they somehow made this whole remastered definitive edition, and I mean they have multiple studios doing it, so that's not an issue. It's just that like people, when I said it to a couple of friends of mine, they were like, "I don't want to play those games. I want GTA 6," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't understand. This is a completely different studio working on it. So they have multiple studios that will do stuff for them. Like, yeah, but we want GTA 6. I'm like, stop acting like a spoiled little child, you know?
Yeah, well, that's gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, the thing that I wanted to bring up before we go to what we've been playing. Nintendo had a big ol' shareholder meeting as well, and they talked about a bunch of stuff. They talked about how well Nintendo Switch Online is doing. They have, I think, 32 million subscribers, but they're fudging the numbers a little bit because they're also counting like family members. Like if you buy the family member pass, like that gives you like how many people? I think
Five?
six or so people can, five or so people can join in. So a total of six people can be on a family plan, and they count each family member as a subscriber.
Wow.
So
Cooking the books.
kind of seems like it, but it's fine, whatever. Like,
It's not something new. I mean,
no, I mean, I mean, not Nintendo's not the only one that does stuff like this.
no, but it's okay.
Um,
Nintendo tends to cook the books more often, so it's okay.
Fine. So
Artists,
they talked, yeah. So they talked about that a little bit. They talked about, what how the future's looking forward to, and they made this super hilarious slide that does three things.
yeah.
One, it showed that they are working on the next generation of hardware, which
Hmm.
is coming out in somewhere in 20XX. So all you Mega Man fans rejoice. If you
Yeah.
get that reference, you get that reference. Two, the same graphic shows that the last consoles that they worked on before the Switch was the DS and the Wii, completely ignoring the Wii U and the 3DS. Weird and awkward. Um, and probably the most important thing in all of this is that um, it still shows that Nintendo is still looking forward to what's coming next. It's just that they did it in a very kind of trolly way. Like people are like, seriously, you're gonna put it on there like that? It's like, well, okay, first of all, the graphic is not for us, it's for the shareholders. And I'm pretty sure a majority of those shareholders are not video game enthusiasts.
I wonder
Um,
why would somebody buy shares in a company if you're not passionate about the company? Really?
Always, dude. The
Wow.
almighty dollar, man, or in this case, the almighty yen. But yeah, it's like shareholders, like unless they have some weird passion for whatever the company is doing, it's always because of the money.
Yeah.
You have like some shareholders that have like philanthropical personalities to them, and they want to see a company succeed. That's why they buy, shares in it. But they buy a lot of shares in it, but they don't like do anything drastic with essentially the power that they have. But those are few and far between.
Hmm.
There are not nearly enough bored rich people that want to support a company for the right reasons. They're really just doing it just to increase their
Yeah.
wallets.
Wow. I mean, yeah. Nodding and smiling, nodding and smiling. I don't know what to say.
Nodding and smiling.
Nodding and smiling.
Yeah. So I think I mean there's more stuff in the shareholder stuff, but I haven't really gotten the chance to go through it all. But that's kind of it when it comes to news. It's not a lot, but it is a lot to be a little bit concerned about. I mean, we're heading into the holiday season, so plus a lot of games got pushed to November, so
And
this
we're
month.
also
So there's a
having
bunch of stuff coming out.
the Game Awards next month. So
The Game Awards is like, yeah, it is. It is a month away. It is. I
the
wait.
December 9th, right?
Doesn't that mean that voting is already over?
I don't know.
I think if that's true, then we should know what the nominees are, right? Nope, not yet. Okay. We don't know what the nominees are quite yet. Um, but apparently Keanu Reeves, Christopher Nolan, and Gal Gadot will be presenters for awards. So that's a thing.
Oh, that's nice. As long as they don't do anything cringy.
Oh wait, this was from December 9th, 2020. Never mind. That
Yeah,
was
they
last
did
year.
last year, right?
Yeah,
Because
that was last
wasn't Denzel Washington's son also presenting an award?
year. Oh, okay. I literally do not
Yeah. I mean, like, as long as they don't do cringy stuff, I'm always okay with it. It just
remember.
also feels out of place when, like, a famous movie star or film director makes an appearance at a game show. It's like, you don't belong here. You're like a sore thumb that's sticking out right now. It's like, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, and nothing is live yet. But look forward to that. That's gonna be
The
interesting.
funny thing is, I don't even have a game of the year. You probably have, but I don't have a game of the year.
You know what? Neither do I.
I mentioned this during my stream last week. I don't have a game of the year.
Dang, I have to think about it. I don't think I.
Yeah.
Maybe Dread.
I think in my case, maybe Lost in Random.
Mm, yeah, maybe Dread, but I'm not even that. I'm not 100% confident in. Like, not to say that Dread is a bad game. That is not
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm just saying that out of the games that I've played, well, for one, I haven't played a lot of new games this year. Um, and the games that I have played, they're good, but not something that makes me go like, "OMG, this is like game of the year" kind of stuff. Like what you would normally feel in your core, in your gut when you play a game, and it's
Yeah.
like you're playing the game and you finish the game, or you're playing the game and you don't want to stop, right?
Yeah.
And
Or
you
it has
just want
like
to
a
come,
memorable experience.
or has a memorable experience just throughout the game, or like a memorable moment that makes
Yeah.
you go like, oh my gosh, this is like the next evolution of video games, right? Because that's kind of like, not necessarily, okay, maybe not the next evolution of video games, that might be a little bit too much, but
Yeah.
something that really touches you on a
Let
on
me
a
put it this way.
fundamental level.
It makes you an ambassador for that game, and you just want to spread your passion with other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think we
have a
can both
game
agree on
that
that.
I don't have a game this year that does that. I think Lost in Random comes close because I did not expect that game to be as good as and as fun.
Mm.
Um, but like I was maybe it's I haven't played Kina and I haven't played Ratchet and Clank, so maybe I'm missing out on those games,
Yeah,
and probably but and I think for a lot of people it'll be like something like Halo Infinite, or for me it might be Battlefield once I play it. But up until this point, I don't have anything where it's like that's my game of the year.
yeah.
And I'm thinking what it was last year, but I can't remember what it was last year.
Mm. Yeah, I'd have to think about that one too. I don't remember either.
Yeah.
I don't remember either. What the heck? Oh, this is so weird, man. I feel like now that we're talking about like game of the year stuff, I feel so out of sync.
Hmm? Yeah,
Like
but
I've
it's
played game. Here's the thing: I've played games that I enjoy, especially on stream, obviously.
yeah.
But with exceptions of like DLC stuff, I haven't played something actually new outside of like Metroid Dread on stream. Everything that else that I've played is just games that I enjoy to play. Huh.
Yeah.
This is a weird year.
I mean, like, I don't want to. I'm playing Death Stranding right now, and I'm really enjoying it again. But I don't want that to be my game of the year because it's a game that was in 2019 or 2018 my
No,
game
but
of the
this
year.
has more stuff. This has new stuff. It's a new experience. It's different from when you played it the
Well,
first
I'll
time.
give you this. There are some cyberpunk thingies in it that add some cool stuff. It makes it really nice. But I'll tell it in what we've been playing.
Sure. All right. So let's wrap it up and stick around, and we'll be right back with the second segment. What we've been playing. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second and final segment of this episode, which is, of course, what we've been playing. So, Sean Templar, What have you been playing?
I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but I finally finished Mass Effect.
Yes, you did.
I did in Mass Effect 3, yeah. And
Yeah.
after that, I started playing Death Stranding Director's Cut. And I mean, like, it's Death Stranding with a lot of extras in it, and it looks really nice. The cool thing is they've added like graphics mode. So I don't know if it was in the PS4 Pro version, but in the PS5 build, you have quality mode and performance mode. And in a quality mode or in performance mode, it hits 60 FPS with checkerboard rendering. But in quality mode, it does native 4K and it tries to hit 60 FPS, which it hits a lot of the times. But there's this option widescreen. So if you turn it on, it just puts a black bar on the top and on the bottom of your screen, and then it locks the frame rate at 60 FPS, which is funny. So I've been playing in that, and just the game still visually just blows me away. I'm like, holy crap, this game looks so good. I mean, yeah, it's Death Stranding. They added I know that for the PC version at the time there was like a collaboration between CD Projekt Red, so they had a lot of cyberpunk stuff in the game. They've added this to the director's cut as well. So you occasionally get orders from a certain V that you have to find microchips and stuff, and then when you do that, you get rewards for it. So I got a reward yesterday, which was the arm of Johnny Silverhand. So you can equip that as an arm, then you have like this silver robotic arm, and it also does things. It's not just visually; it helps with climbing and stuff like that. You can get the face tattoo thingies, like the one V has on his face that separates his face a bit. Um, yeah, stuff like that. I'm in chapter 7, I think, in the Clifford chapter. I love those World War I, World War II levels they've added to it. It just adds. It has a great atmosphere. I wish they made like a separate game of something like that. We're pretty
Mhm.
dark, but it would be like a perfect Souls game, you know.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a little bit of Yakuza 3, but I kind of wanted to put all my time and effort into Death Stranding. So I haven't played a lot of Yakuza 3. I managed to play Age of Empires 4. It's finally out, and I have Game Pass for it. I played a couple of the single player missions because they have 4 campaigns, and one of them is a British campaign, I believe. So I've played a couple of the missions. It looks really nice. It plays really familiar, which isn't a bad thing. They've added like these small quality of life things that make the overall experience better. Um, we played, I played co-op with a friend of mine against an easy enemy, and we got our asses handed. First, of course, a normal enemy, we got our asses handed to us, and then we almost had our asses handed to us with an easy enemy. So I don't know what was going on there, because I've conquered China, I made it grow larger, so I don't know what happened here.
Maybe you're
Uh,
rusty, man.
I
Maybe you're
think so. I
rusty.
don't know. Yeah. So that and yeah, I think that's it basically.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't
All right.
done. Yeah, I haven't played a lot. So
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, you finally finished Death Stranding. Story. Gosh darn it! I keep saying Death Stranding when I mean Days Gone
days gone.
on
Yeah,
on stream.
yeah. It was the second time I finished the game. So and the funny part was like last week's stream, I thought I finished it, and then someone was like, "No, I don't think you finished it because I've already played these parts and still not the ending." And I was like, "No, I thought I had finished this." And then yeah, I mean, I finished this Sunday, and I'm thinking about streaming Uncharted 2 upcoming Sunday because I just want to play a little bit more smaller, more focused game. But I'm not sure yet. Maybe something will pop up that I want to play. So, but
All
that's
right.
basically been me. What have you been playing?
Well, as you know, the new update came out for Animal Crossing New Horizons and the DLC Happy Home Paradise. So I've been playing that like every day again. Like seriously, like what the heck, Nintendo?
I saw the stream,
How do you
your
do
stream.
that? How do they do that? How do they add more content and just reel you back in? It's kind of crazy because I touch that game once every 6 months now. Like after like the initial after the initial 4 to 6 months when it came out first, and everybody was playing Animal Crossing, I was playing it every day nonstop. And then I kind of just petered out because I was just playing it every day and was just kind of like nothing new was getting added
Yeah,
or nothing interesting new was getting added. They brought holidays and stuff like that, but
You
holidays
had
can happen
Animal
every
Crossing
year.
fatigue.
Yeah, I mean, most people did, right? So
Yeah,
most people like there are some people that literally play every day because that's just the thing that they play.
Liam.
Um, but here's the thing, Liam really we keep name dropping this guy. He needs to get on the podcast, man. Like
I know, but he's playing hard to get, so I think this is like a call to him from us and the fans
Liam,
to
we need to
finally,
get you on the podcast
yeah,
finally. We
get
need to
your
talk
ass over
Animal
here.
Crossing.
Yeah,
We need to talk Animal Crossing and like his like I have you you probably still haven't seen it, right? Like
I
his
don't have the
island.
game anymore, so but I heard he does some crazy stuff.
Yeah, but you know, I think he's posted some stuff on his Instagram.
Oh, those things I have seen.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, like his stuff, like his island is the best. Seriously, because it's all like Japanese style, and it's just so cool. I know there are a bunch of people that do that, but like, so I'm sorry, I am biased. Um, so like what Liam has done like over the past like she's like what is it? It's been almost a year since I know this guy. Just seeing his island just take shape into what it is just so remarkable to see. I love it. I love it. Yeah, like he really put some effort into it. Like I had to make space so I can farm because you can now farm like crops. You can grow wheat, you can grow potatoes, you can grow carrots, you can grow sugarcane, you can make dishes, you can now
Wow.
find the DIY recipes for food, which is really cool. If you catch certain fish, like your villager will get this idea like, oh, I can make this meal now, and then it's like, oh, you learn to make, I don't know, baked baked uh baked Alaska or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, that's really cool. They also added the Roost, which is this coffee shop that every Animal Crossing has had except New Leaf, which is really weird. Plus, we knew that this was coming because it got data mined as soon as the game released last year
Oh
that
damn.
this was coming, and they didn't do anything. So people are like, when is the Roost coming? Is the Roost coming? Is it something that they just decided to abandon and this is just leftover code? Nobody knew, and then finally they announced it during the direct and the Animal Crossing direct, and now he's finally here, and you can go to him, and he'll make you a steaming hot cup of Joe, and you can go there with your friends if you're playing online multiplayer. You can, if you have amiibos or amiibo cards of villagers, you can invite them, and they'll sometimes bring other animals to the roost, and you can chill and have coffee with them, and build relationships, and then you have all the new content that they added, including fan favorite Froggy Chair, which is a chair that has a frog face, and
I
it's been
think
there since the N64 days. And people were so upset that it wasn't in New Horizons, and that they added it in this update, and people went completely ballistic. Seriously, there are really weird
I
people out
can
there that
think
like
of
Animal
one
Crossing.
person that loved it probably.
But you
Soup?
mean me?
No, soups.
Oh yeah, Soups definitely loved that one. I can tell you that one. The
Yeah,
Soups definitely loved seeing the froggy chair,
I know.
because it is their like imago. I don't
Okay.
know how to say that.
Je
Like
ne sais pas.
in a good way, right?
Yeah,
Because we call them the frog queen. So, in a loving way, of course, of course. Um, yeah. So it's been really fun to like just rediscover Animal Crossing again, and the DLC, the Happy Home Paradise, where you can design vacation homes for animals, like is so zen. It's such a
hmm,
zen thing to do because there's no time pressure. There's no pressure in getting it just right. You already get the furniture that you need to basically complete the mission, and everything is just left up to your imagination to essentially do as you please. as long as it adheres to the style that they're going for. And just been having a lot of fun doing that. And Cap'n is back, the Kappa, who brings you to an island and sings you sea shanties while he does that. Just yeah, just a good old, just good clean fun. It's been nice rediscovering Animal Crossing. Other than that, I've been playing stuff on and off. Oh, so Guardians of the Galaxy released,
I know. I really want to play it.
and I played the trial cloud version on my Switch.
How was that?
Huh. Let me put it this way: when it booted up, it was kind of glitchy, and I played it on my TV on purpose because I have the OLED dock, which has like the not that it's different from the wired solution that I had before, which was the old Wii um, uh, Ethernet adapter
Mhm.
that went through the USB. So it's like basically it's the same thing. It's just it's built in. But I wanted to have a wired connection just to make sure that it goes smoothly. And the initial load was kind of bad, but after that,
Okay.
it was fine. After that load, it was fine. It ran great. The game looks superb. I had not noticeable input lag as far as I could tell. Someone with better reaction times and eyes would probably notice it a lot better than me. But the problem with these cloud trials is they're always like 5 minutes. So you don't really get like a good grasp of like what the game has to offer, and then it just kicks you out. It's like, oh yeah, thanks for playing. You can either go back to the main menu or you can go and buy it. Buy it
Yay.
in quotes.
Yeah.
Because it's a cloud version. You're buying a license to play a game. You're not buying the game.
Yeah.
It's even worse than just buying the downloaded version of the game. At least that you have like the data on your hardware. But at least this allows people to play it on Switch. And honestly, I wish it wasn't that expensive, because then I'd be like, you know what? This is a very viable way of playing this game on the Switch.
Okay.
Yeah, because it looks fine. I mean, it looks like you would expect it on a. I mean, it's running at 1080p, of course, because it's on a Switch. The Switch only does 1080p, but it looks sharp. It looks good. Like the game itself, of course, looks very nice. Like I really love the art direction of this game. Like it is a really good looking game. But the one thing I will say about Guardians of the Galaxy is the gunplay feels a little bit off.
I
It
think that
doesn't
was one of the
feel
more common things, critiques for the game.
yeah, like I was like, here's the thing: when it comes to like gameplay and nuances about gameplay, it gets really hard to like convey it unless you play the game, right? Especially like if the gameplay is bad, you can say it's bad. But if there's something very specifically nuanced about the gameplay that is not 100% there, but is still playable, it gets harder to convey until you play it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's basically my what I got from that. The gunplay kind of tries to do the active reload thing from Gears of War, and it works just fine. It's just the aiming feels a bit off, and what you normally have on consoles is you always have a little bit of auto targeting, like or assisted targeting, and I don't know if it's on or if it's off or if it's on but it's set to like really low, and I don't know if it's something that you can adjust in the menu. I didn't have a chance to check it because I only had 5 minutes.
It's a short time for a trial.
It's way too short.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least give like 30 minutes.
at least yeah, 30 minutes to 20 minutes, like even 20 minutes would have been fine.
Hmm.
But yeah, oh well.
Yeah.
Ah well. I mean, I guess they don't want people to actually buy the game.
The cloud version, at least.
Yeah, but it's not just them. Like every cloud version of a Switch game has that same trial, that same trial
It's
period.
probably the same company that does this, that provides the cloud service.
I think it's Nintendo that actually does it.
Really?
I think so. Because they
Oh,
all have like literally like different companies have put out cloud versions of their games on Switch. They all have literally the same interface. They all have the same time limit, 5 minutes. It's way too sus that a specific cloud company is doing it for these guys. I feel like it's a Nintendo template,
I don't know.
but I don't know. I don't know. Uh maybe someone will someday report on it and give us a bit more detail. But until then, I guess we'll just have to wait. And that is pretty much what I've been playing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, Sean, with that said, will you do us the honors?
I will try, as always. So, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Game Rivals. We always really appreciate your support. You can find us on your favorite podcasting platform: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Overcast, you name it, we're probably there. Um, you can find us on YouTube as well. We'll put the link in the description for this video. You can email us, game rivalsfeedback at gmail.com. We're on Twitter, game underscore rivals underscore. Maximilian is also on Twitter at Maximilian. We're both on Twitch, twitch.tv slash Sean Templar and twitch.tv slash Maximilian underscore X. We're both on Instagram, Game Rivals and at Maximilian underscore X. And that's it, I think.
Yep.
That's
And
it.
don't forget, we now post questions of the episodes if you're listening to this on Spotify. Last week's question was, of course, about the Nathan Drake,
Oh,
the
okay.
Uncharted movie trailer. This week's question is going to be about NFTs.
Oh,
Do
great.
you own any NFTs? What do you think about NFTs getting into video games and ruining gaming as a whole? Not just kidding, but just mostly, what do you think about it as a addition to a video game, to the video game spectrum, as it were?
Nice. On that note, I have been and always will be Sean Templar.
And I have been and will always be Maximilian X.
I will catch you on the next one.
Later.